Di Livio. Del Piero. And Mondini in the Vicenza goal less than happy at the covering in front of him, because had he spilled this shot, Ravanelli was the closest player rather than a Vicenza defender. Lopez. Mondini. And Otero's clear here. Rampulla's off his line, and that's a penalty. Rampulla claims his innocence. Otero pushed the ball past him, and Rampulla had committed himself to making a challenge. So Otero, who's Vicenza's top scorer with 7 goals in Serie A this season, gives his side the lead. It's Vicenza 1, Juventus 0. And what a well-dispatched spot kick. Pesotto. That's Vialli. Put out by Grossi. Lombardini. Otero. And Rossi is onside here. Machita's in the middle. It's 2. Well, he seems to reserve his goals for the important games. He's already scored against Milan and Parma. And now Machita scores what could be the clinching goal against Juventus. Carrera. Vialli. Well, Vialli just might get a shot in here. He was sandwiched in between Bjorklund and Lopez. Still managed to turn and shoot. Vialli leading by example as Juventus try to get a foothold in this match. Meanwhile, at the other end, here's Machita. Otero! Repelled by Rampulla's foot. At 3-0, this would have been over as a contest. Machita and Otero working intelligently between them. Lombardo. And this is Ravanelli. Yes, he's pulled a goal back. And Juventus are right back in this match. Mondini's cross with himself. The strength of the shot by Ravanelli was too severe. And it's now Vicenza 2, Juventus 1. And had Juventus played like this in the first half, they might not find themselves losing this game. Chiro Ferrara. Looking out Lombardo. Lombardini brings him down. In a goal-scoring position. And Lombardini sent off. So, Vicenza will have to play out the remainder of this game with 10 men. Lombardini was holding Lombardo back. Oh, and Rampulla may have handled the ball outside the penalty area. That is what the linesman thought. And so he will be the second player to be sent off in this match. Rampulla's claiming he didn't touch it with his hand. It's difficult to tell from the slow-motion replay.
Napoli entertained Atalanta in the evening clash. Third-placed Parma played host to Sampdoria, and fifth-placed Lazio had a home clash with struggling Bari.
It's been a tough season for Cagliari's fans, and without the injured Fiori, they were grateful to his deputy, Abate, for keeping out Battistuta early on. Cagliari have scored the fewest goals in Serie A this season. Here they managed to miss the target from 4 yards. It's been more than 30 years since Fiorentina last won this fixture, and despite the threat posed by Rui Costa and Battistuta, once again they left Cagliari without taking maximum points. The side coached by Giovanni Trapattoni had lost 4 of their 5 previous games and really looked like earning more than a draw from this fixture. Oliveira seemed the most likely to score. Toldo was equal to anything the Brazilian had to offer. Having drawn their last game at home to Vicenza, Fiorentina will have been disappointed to drop another 2 points against another of Serie A's lesser lights. When these two teams met in Udine back in September, the match produced 5 goals, the home side winning 3-2. Despite the change of venue, the entertainment value was just as high. The fans were treated to another 4 goals. The first, which arrived 12 minutes in, was scored by Paolo Poggi. Indeed, the former Torino striker came mighty close to scoring twice in the first half. Cremonese levelled things up moments before the interval, following a move which started deep inside their own half. Maspero's accurate pass was stylishly converted by Tentoni, who scored for the 4th time this season. Udinese have managed just 1 away win in the league, and they didn't find it any easier on the road against Serie A's bottom club. Still, Cremonese make it difficult for most sides who visit the Zini Stadium. Both Milan and the current champions Juventus were held to draws here recently. Paolo Poggi might have had a hat-trick in this game, but he had to settle for the 1 goal he scored in the first half. The last 2 goals in this fixture arrived in the last 2 minutes. Udinese took the lead for the 2nd time after Helveg was brought down for a penalty. Cremonese's coach would surely have expected more from his captain, Verdelli, who fouled the theatrical Dane. Bia made it 2-1. As the away fans celebrated what they thought would prove to be the winning goal, an outstanding header by Floriancic drew Cremonese level. I don't think even the Slovenian could quite believe it. He made the final score 2-2. Bari's fans were treated to a 2-1 victory when they played away to Lazio last season. Maybe they were expecting more of the same on Sunday. There appears to be something special about this fixture. When these teams meet, it's an open and free-flowing game. Casiraghi almost opened the scoring in the opening minutes. In week 3, Bari and Lazio produced a 3-3 draw. They went one better this time. 7 goals were scored in this game. The first arrived after 9 minutes, and it came from the penalty spot. Gautieri was brought down by Marcagiani. Proti put Bari ahead. His strike was both powerful and accurate. The home fans needn't have worried. Playing in the Olympic Stadium, Lazio always create numerous goal-scoring opportunities. Sadly for them, their Dutch international Aaron Winter was off target here, but there were many more chances to come. Perhaps more than Zemen's side expected. Incredibly, Lazio were awarded a penalty here. It appears the match official, Signor Tombolini, has made awarding spot kicks his trademark. He has an average of 1 every 2 games in Serie A. Lazio took full advantage of the referee's charity. Signori made it 1-1. Bari's game then went to pieces. Montanari in particular. Winter made sure Lazio earned another penalty, just in case the referee thought otherwise. Signori scored his 8th goal from the spot this season. The Bari defenders must have been treading on eggshells every time Lazio got anywhere near their goal. It might explain why, after Fontana denied Boksic, Signori was still able to claim his hat-trick. It ended 3-1 at half-time. To their credit, Bari came back into the game after the interval. Gautieri out-sprinted Marcolin, and the winger's cross was headed in by Kenneth Anderson. It was now 3-2. Lazio restored their 2-goal cushion with 12 minutes remaining. Alan Boksic was given time and space to score his 3rd goal in 5 games. Perhaps it was appropriate Tombolini should have the last word. The referee awarded the fourth penalty of the match after Nesta's challenge on Proti. Once again, it was a dubious decision. Once again, Proti scored from 12 yards as he took his goals tally to 16 for the season. Bari almost scored again at the death. Anderson provided the flick on for Gautieri, who saw his effort trickle past Marcagiani's upright. Lazio sneaked it 4-3. Sampdoria's fans had never seen their side win away to Parma in Serie A. Indeed, Sampdoria have lost their last 4 league games at the Tardini Stadium. After 90 minutes, La Monica inadvertently steered Zola's effort into his own net. Judging by the replay, Pagotto appeared to have Zola's shot covered before the defender's interception. Parma have the shortest goalkeeper in Serie A. It would have taken more than Seedorf's effort to beat Bucci from so far out. One of Parma's 2 defeats in Serie A this season came against Sampdoria. Carambeu scored twice in the 3-0 win back in September. Sampdoria would have settled for just 1 in this game. Hristo Stoichkov is still finding his range since his arrival in Serie A. Carambeu seemed to have managed that with relative ease at the start of the season. However, he's managed only 1 goal in the last 4 months. To the Frenchman's credit, he still has the confidence to try something out of the ordinary. There were plenty of strikes on goal, but none of them were accurate enough to alter the scoreline. Dino Baggio, Valeri and Apolloni each saw their efforts miss the target. Ultimately, Parma earned their 3rd consecutive home win thanks to an own goal scored in the first half. More importantly, it keeps them in the championship race. Five months into the season and Paul Ince is still waiting for his first goal since joining Inter. It was a good save from Taibbi, which kept out the England international. The 2 sides drew 0-0 at the San Siro earlier this season. Piacenza had the opportunity to score early on in this match. Piovani was brought down by Pagliuca, and the referee awarded the home side a penalty. The Inter goalkeeper redeemed himself, saving Catcher's effort, and Piovani's too from the rebound. Piacenza went a man down 3 minutes into the second half. Lucci was judged to have committed a professional foul on Roberto Carlos and was sent off. Later in the game, an error from the Brazilian international almost proved costly for Inter. Pagliuca denied Turini a goal. Fog rapidly descended on the Galliano Stadium, but it was clear enough for the referee to award Inter a penalty. With just 5 minutes left when Branco went down. Taibbi kept his concentration and pulled off an excellent save to keep Piacenza's hopes alive. Remarkably, Piacenza managed to find the winning goal 6 minutes into stoppage time, and it was scored by the former Milan midfielder, Angelo Carboni. Torino and Padova were locked on equal points in the relegation zone prior to this game. The home side firmly established their superiority. Rizzitelli scored in the 11th minute to put Torino 1 up. Padova's left-back, Franco Gabrielli, doesn't score often, and when he does, it's usually from long range. Torino made the mistake of allowing the 33-year-old to shoot here. It almost cost them dear. Despite Torino's position in the league, Angloma has enjoyed another sparkling season. Following a 1-2 with Rizzitelli, the French international was brought down for a penalty. Bonaciuti did his best to put off Rizzitelli, and it seemed to work. It was an outstanding stop which denied the Torino captain. Cristianini followed up to score, but the goal was ruled out due to encroachment. After the break, Veldin Karic, who scored his first Serie A goal a week earlier in Bari, was still left waiting for his first goal in front of his home fans. The Croatian was involved in the move which ultimately killed off Padova. Angloma appeared to have ruined his chances of scoring, but he managed to steer the ball in from the tightest of angles. Torino won 3 precious points. This was a match shown live on Italian television on Sunday evening. Within the first 15 minutes, Napoli opened the scoring, and with some style too. Arturo Di Napoli set up Alan Bogosian, who scored his first goal for 16 months. In the second half, Atalanta produced the illusion of a goal, but that's all it was. Pavoni supplied the shot. Coming up, an instant we haven't seen for some time. Roberto Policano was back to his rugged best. He was sent off only minutes after he'd come on as a substitute. Napoli managed to secure 3 points with 5 minutes to go. Imbriani thought he'd scored, but it went down as an own goal by Antonio Paganini. So Milan have extended their lead at the top to 5 points over Fiorentina, who've been joined by Parma on 38. Juventus have been replaced by Lazio in 4th position, while Vicenza are now only 3 points behind their more illustrious rivals. At the bottom, there's little change. The same 4 clubs occupy the relegation places, only that Torino have swapped places with the team they defeated on Sunday, Padova. Cremonese are still in last position. They're now 9 points away from safety. Igor Potti's double strike from the penalty spot against Lazio sees the Bari striker go 2 goals clear of Gabriel Batistuta, who stays on 14. Signori's hat-trick in the same game moves the Lazio skipper up to 13. Bierhoff, Katcher and Chiesa each drew blanks in week 20. And we leave you with Milan's returning hero, George Weah, back from the African Nations Cup and back among the goals.
Giovanni Trapattoni.